Hello! My name is Nawa-ish, I am an illustrator, and we have a lot of work to do. Today we are gonna finish this open pit mine. I carved out a little bit of this part right here, just so that it matches up with the drawing that we did last episode. So not only am I going to be adding color and texturizing the inside of the pit mine, but we're also going to be terraforming the area around here, and finishing up with the rock pillar in the background. Before we get to collecting all the materials that we need, let us go and figure out the block palette. Whoa, transition! We are in a creative world, and now we can see all the blocks. I took some color swatches from the drawing, so now we have an idea of what sort of blocks we're looking for. I'm gonna put down a bunch of blocks, but we probably won't use them all. We have a bunch of terracotta that's already pretty close to the main colors that we're looking for. This is gonna be a pretty warm-toned palette. So no crimson wood, which leans cool, but mangrove works. I'm really glad that I made these color swatches. It's really helping to choose. This has a nice kind of pinky beige color to it, almost similar to the granite, but it also has the tealy green color from the oxidization, which is also in the ore block, and it matches pretty well with the green in the strip jungle logs, but also in the strip spruce logs. This is one of the things I think about when I'm choosing blocks, but please take everything I say with a big grain of salt. I might be a professional illustrator, but I'm not the best when it comes to picking colors and using color theory. Most of the time, I'm just kind of going with my gut feeling on what might work or what looks good. Okay, so this is where it's at currently, and I thought, what if ancient debris? This side color is pretty good. You might be wondering, why aren't we using resin? Because it's orange. That's because in this world building that I'm doing, this is an ore. And it's what the people were mining out of the open pit mine. It's something super valuable and very sought after. So it makes sense that it's not in the mine anymore. Here's the finished palette, and now we have a good idea on what sort of blocks we need to collect. Alright, back to the world. Ooh, another transition. Let's get home and see what sort of blocks we have on hand. Oh, right. I need to say thank you to all the suggestions that I got for the name of this horse. There were so many that I can't decide what I want to pick yet. That and I don't have a name tag yet, so his name will have to wait. Alright, let's see. We have a bit of terracotta, not enough though. And the coral is also not great. Luckily we have a way through the nether to get to a warm ocean and a desert, and there's also badlands out there. The problem is that I do not have shulker boxes, which means I would have to go back and forth a lot of times with all the blocks. But what if I find a donkey? I'm pretty sure there was a donkey over there. Right. It's possible that the donkey died in the wither fight. Might have to rethink this idea. Ooh. It is I, your wandering trader. They don't like me for some reason. Okay, they stop attacking me. Let's see how many spots you have. Ooh, 3. That's not good. It's better, but it's not the same as a donkey. Maybe we can try breeding them. Eee, look at him. Alright, let's keep you safe. And I guess while we're waiting for this guy to grow up, we might as well go out and search for a donkey a bit further out. Donkey. Donkey! Hello, donkey! Oh, he's so slow that he can't keep up with the horse. Wow, this is one very slow donkey. Well, guess I am riding him back. Oh, we're back. My horse is pretty fast, so what if we just breed them and make a mule? Fill you full of sugar. He big now. Oh, he's pretty speedy. Yes, chest. I think we're ready to go to the beach. Alright, this should be pretty straightforward. I've gotten used to riding a horse through the nether. We just have a little tunnel over here. Yes, it is not horse friendly. Oh, here we are. Are they still here? Yes, they are. Time to start collecting the coral. At first it was a bit slow going, especially because I don't have respiration on my helmet yet. I also decided that instead of getting all the colors, I would just focus on the red and the yellow ones. There were some sunken ships, where I found a lot of the same trim. I was hoping to find a nautilus, but there didn't seem to be any spawning. I did collect a lot of pufferfish though, just in case. Oh, there it is, there's one. Looks like it's a normal one. Eat my pufferfish. I realized I forgot a saddle, so I'm just gonna leash this guy and go and find some leather. Turns out I do not have a fence. So I'm gonna let you go, so don't disappear please. I went a weird roundabout way, kinda got lost in a jungle. But yay, leather! Now, where did he go? Ah, there you are. Let's see what this is like. Oh, right. Spacebar is a boost. Whee! I also need black dye, so I spent some time spearfishing the squid. Our inventories are full of coral, so let us head back to drop this off. I have a lot of bamboo for fueling my smelter, which means I can make boats and chests. Okay, terracotta next. Oh, look at that, so spiky. Okay, I found the spot. And we dig. Instead of going all the way back to the other portal, I'm just gonna make one here. Yep, it's still Crimson Forest. Luckily, I have the coordinates to the other portal saved, so I'm just gonna dig towards it. Oh, that took a while. Okay, donkey. Right, you are not a donkey. You are a mule. Muley? Muesli. I'm gonna call you Muesli. Okay, Muesli, back we go. Alright, gonna go off and collect more blocks. Mangrove trees are terrible to cut down. I also want to grab some mud, so it might be more efficient if I just go to a mangrove swamp, which means I must dig through the nether again. Ah! This isn't the mangrove. Okay, I see a swamp over there. And it is thunderstorming. That is not good. Oh, there it is. There's the mangrove. How was I so off? Turns out I read the coordinates wrong, so this is the proper place. Perfect. I wasn't able to get everything, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to restock on some of these blocks while I'm building, but I think we have enough that I can get started. So let's bring Nico, our happy guest. Whoop. Alright, off we go. Oh, that is a creeper. Sleep. Let's put down some chests and transfer all the materials over. We also have to deal with this mess. I did consider just building around it, but I should move them. If I don't do it now, it's not gonna get done. So I'm thinking we could just leave them right here. There's some sort of standoff going on over there. I do want to leave them here and not bring this all back to the base, because I will eventually come and build up this town. So it'll be nice to have some material close by. So why don't we make something to cover up all these chests that are gonna be here. Instead of over here, maybe we can move and be around here instead. Kinda has a nice view of the future bridge that's gonna be here. Alright, so this is what I'm thinking. We are starting off with a quick sketch. I want to do a little scene that illustrates how surprisingly long it takes to gather materials. I never really thought about it too much when I was watching other people's videos before I did my own, but it really does take a while. So this is a drawing of a little rest spot beside a stone ruin, with me, exhausted, on the bench, surrounded by chests filled with the blocks that we gathered today. And of course, we need to put in Muesli, our trusted steed for this episode, and our little happy gas that's just floating in the sky. I wasn't completely happy with the pose and the bench, so there was a bit of redrawing, and then I colored it up, and this is how it turned out. Okay, so let's start clearing this up. In the rain. Alright, that was pretty quick, and it turned out okay. The one thing that bothers me is this bench. It's just kind of close to the ground and kind of small, so I'm thinking we can do this thing that I've seen before, where you use armor stands, some pistons to push in the block, and they become the little legs of the bench. Then you use a slab that you push down with another piston, and it's a little bench. Now that the bench is bigger, everything around it is looking a tiny bit too small. So let me just make everything ever so slightly bigger. This is much better. And of course, down below the ground, we have all these chests filled with rock and everything that came out of the pit mine. And now we can just relax. Except not. We still have to work on this. I also just made this really small dripstone farm. I don't have a lot of it, so I thought I'll just keep this running while I'm working. I'm gonna start at the bottom. The water line is gonna be around here, so we can put down some mud, some deep slate. Let's make this beacon a jump boost beacon. It'll make it a lot easier to get around. Whee! Boingy, boingy, boingy. I wanted a slightly darker block than the mud, so I went in with some blackstone. For the sides, I used the drawing as a reference and put in solid blobs of color, which I'll go and refine later with more blocks. I think using just regular terracotta would have worked best for the base, but I was worried that I didn't have enough, so I just used granite. Right now it's looking interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I was following the drawing pretty closely, but maybe I should have taken a bit more liberties with it. I'm hoping it comes together once I start adding in more variations in the blocks, because right now it is very stark. I guess it also doesn't help that I used granite for most of it, so everything looks very tinged pink. So let's start adding in the different blocks and try to even everything out. These guys have been accumulating at the bottom of the pit. It's gonna be sad when these all despawn. I've been adding in the extra variations of blocks, and it's looking better? I can't tell at this point. Maybe I'm just not used to seeing something so colorful in what's supposed to be stone, but I feel like I need to dull this down a bit more. Can we use glass and sort of mute some of the colors? Just put them on top of the brighter things like this terracotta. Okay, yeah, I kind of like that. Even if I don't do this for the whole thing, it is helping. And in some cases, we can use solid glass instead of the panes. You will see the glass if you're really close up or you're really zoomed in, but this is a pit mine, so I don't think anyone's going to be going down there and really seeing it up close. I am still not completely sure how I feel about this. I think I've been staring at it for too long. But I'm okay with it enough that I can move on to the next thing, which is terraforming all the other little bits. We have the grassy cliff with a tree. We need to carve down some of the grass. And there's also the greenery that's crawling down the sides. Might also change some of the blocks here to be more of a gray color. I'm just slowly building up the walls. And we're gonna have to shave down some of this land. The beacon's range doesn't quite reach, so we are going to have to move, you guys. That's a hole. Just checking how I should shape this cliff. Right now it's kind of like doop, doop, doop. So we have to cover the little divot and have the cliff go down. Gotta shave off most of this part. And of course the tree. Hi, kitty. I have some fish for you. Would you like? First try. Oh. Oh. Hi, horse. I was having a moment with the cat, but sure. Oh, okay. Bye. Okay, let's go, kitty. Hee hee hee, you could sit right here. Yes, you are. You're a little kitty. We have the shape of the cliff face in. It has a nice little swoop going on. We're gonna start adding the grass, but there also needs to be a bit of dirt. Ooh, sorry guys. I'm gonna have to bury you. You'll be one with the cliff. I finished putting in the grass. I'm liking the shape, but if you bring your eyes down to this level, you see the brown of the dirt, which I don't like as much, which means we just need to replace the grass with some moss. There we go. And look, I cleaned up the back. Right now the cliff is looking a bit too uniform, a bit too straight up and down. So we can go in and tweak it a little, take away some stuff, add some walls. I thought I would add in the lighter blocks near the top like what I usually do, but I don't think it works in this case. This looks alright. There's another cat in here. Hello. Do you need rescuing? Take my fish. Oh, yay. Come with me, kitty. I have 2 now. Oh. I am accumulating a lot of different animals now. I have to come up with more names. Oh no. Okay, back to shaving this down. So I smooth down this little grass mound. Do not pay attention to the floating chests. I'll clean those up later. And apart from that, I also smoothed out and covered a lot of holes that were around in this area. Okay, tree time. I need to be careful and be mindful of the size of this tree. It can't be too big or too small, or else the proportions get all off. We need to first decide where this is gonna be. Will it be here? No. Maybe here. Ah, looks about right. Yep, just a simple tree. I was just about to go to sleep, but look at this. Majestic. While I have leaves in my inventory, I might as well also put in the overgrown vegetation that's going down the sides. And I'm not going to overthink it. We'll just trail these down. I added a bit of green glass and it fills it out nicely. Alright, one thing after the next. We need to finish this floating rock. Look! There's that donkey I was looking for. It survived the wither. But yes, here's the rock. And I also cleaned up this hole. Alright, let's flood this thing. Now we just have to do one last thing. There we go. Perfect. And I believe we are done. I know I was pretty unsure about the colors in the walls, but it is definitely growing on me. If I were to do this again, I think I would pay more attention to the shape of the colors and how they're placed and grouped together, especially the darker spots. But overall, I think it turned out okay, and I'm happy that I stepped out of my comfort zone and tried something new. I'm sorry that this video took so long to come out. There's this big project that I'm working on, and the deadline for that is coming up really soon, which means unfortunately that I don't have a lot of time at the moment. so my uploads might be a bit sporadic for the next little while. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!